What's up, everyone? I'm Joe. I appreciate you stopping by the channel. Hope you're all doing well. So I've been tagged in this 5-4-3-2-1 challenge. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Wes. And this is a tough one. I have a pretty big collection of shave soaps and aftershaves. I've been at this a while, and to narrow it down to just 5 of my favorites from the whole collection is kind of tough. So what I decided to do was, since it's winter time and I am wearing winter fragrances, let's look at the shave soaps from that perspective. Let's look at, like, what do I consider to be a cold weather, warmer scents. And so that's what I decided to do with this. And this is in no particular order. We'll just kick things off with Bricktown Grooming, Valley Forge. Now this is a bourbon fragrance, but it's not a heavy bourbon fragrance. It's not overly boozy. It's bourbon, it's woodsy, it's a little floral, it's really well blended, it's nice, it's not too strong. The scent strength off it is not too strong. You really get that scent out of this with the aftershave. And I know that Phil had talked about doing EDPs at one time. I don't know if he's still going to be doing that. But if he does come up with a Valley Forge EDP, I am definitely at it. So that's the first one. And the next one, I can't do a warm scent, spicy scent lineup without adding a bay rum. I'm a bay rum junkie. And for me, a go-to bay rum is the original bay rum, the one that kicked off my bay rum obsession, and that's PAA Classico bay rum. This is an awesome bay rum scent. The first time I smelled this is the scent that made me love bay rum. And every time I see a bay rum, I always end up buying it because I'm curious as to what they've done with the bay rum, what that artisan has done with the bay rum. Now I have 2 bay rums. My bay rum is a little bit sweeter than this one, and I have a citrus bay rum, which kind of goes more towards like an orange, bitter orange bay rum type of thing. But this one had to be in here because this is the bay rum that kicked off my bay rum obsession. The next one we're going to do is from Eric, the Cajun Blade. This was a tough one. I went back and forth between 2 of his soaps for this kind of scent profile, this warm weather, woodsy, spicy scent profile, and I landed on Neutral Ground. Now, interestingly enough, this is one of the few soaps that I have from other artisans that Sadie has complimented on. I used this a few days ago, and she had said something. She remembered this fragrance. She's remembered me using it before. Excuse me. And she's like, "Is that one from Eric?" I said, "Yeah, that's the Neutral Ground one." And she's like, "I really like that one." And I think it's it's warm, it's woodsy, but there's a floral note in here. And I think it was the blue bonnet that he had used in here, and that's what I think what Sadie is really picking up on, and that's what makes this one very unique. And of course, I mean, Eric's base. I mean, you can't beat that. And the next one we're going to go with, now this is a wild card. This one surprised me because it's a barbershop, but it's a barbershop that's got a very unique twist on it. And it's Adopted Acres Mint Cherry Barbershop. Now, this is the first soap that I ever bought from Doug. This is in his original base, and for me personally, I think his original base, he came out of the gate swinging with a home run on this base. I really enjoy his original base, but this, to take a barbershop, when I first saw barbershop with cherry and mint, I was like, nah, there's no way. Barbershop's way too fresh. But surprisingly, it works really well with a cherry aspect in here. Then you add the mint, but then his barbershop is a little bit more on the woodsy side of the barbershop. So it all plays together really nicely. And this one's a good one. This was That's a nice barbershop, a very unique barbershop. And the last one, number 5, again, not in any particular order, but this is an artisan I don't think gets enough credit. They are not super active on social media. Occasionally, he'll pop in and comment on something on Facebook, or I don't see him much on Instagram. He does one post, I think, every week, and it's because he does one video a week on his YouTube channel. And I like the fact that his soaps, if you want to get his soaps, you got to go to his website. And like I said, he doesn't do a ton of social media, but he does do some fantastic work, and his soaps are awesome. And that's What the Face. Now this is Thomas Shelby's signature scent. Now they have a whole Peaky Blinders. He's got a whole Peaky Blinders lineup. It's Thomas Shelby's signature scent. And you know what? Let me give you the scent notes here real quick, because this is a unique one that you wouldn't think. So the scent notes on here are sage, lavender, amber, white woods, leather, cashmere, tonka bean, bitter almond, and orris. And that's how this one falls into like a warm, spicy kind of a fragrance. And like I was saying, he does have the whole line of the Peaky Blinders that he's doing, and there's Arthur Shelby's Bushmills, which is based off of Bushmills Prohibition recipe Irish whiskey. And if you've never had that whiskey, I suggest you go try it. It will slap you in the face, just like that shave soap will. This Irish whiskey, the Bushmills soap, when you open that up, it's going to punch you in the face with a heavy, heavy whiskey fragrance. And he also has, the other one was Alfie Solomon's Oud. If you like oud, Alfie Solomon's Oud is a nice one. It's a lighter, fresher take on an oud, and he also has Poly Gray. And that's an herbal, green, spicy, a little bit woodsy, a little bit floral fragrance. Excellent, excellent. I'm a big fan of What the Face products. It's another New York artisan, so of course I like to support the fellow New York artisans, and that is a really nice one. I really do like his stuff. So that's the 5 soaps, and so I like what Wes did. Wes didn't do the aftershaves, he did fragrances. So obviously if I have those shave soaps, I have those aftershaves. So those are going to be in that top ranking too. So I'm going to go to fragrances, and I have a bunch of scent notes pulled up here. I wanted to make sure I read them off to you. So like I said, I'm doing warm weather fragrances or cold weather fragrances right now, warmer fragrances for the cold weather. And we're going to kick this off with the classic. This is a go-to for me. This is YSL La Nuit de l'Homme. This is bottle number 3 of this one. I'll give you the scent notes here. Cardamom is the top note, and you get that right away on that. Of cardamom, lavender, Virginia cedar, bergamot, vetiver, and caraway. This is a go-to fragrance for me in the winter. Even in the spring, summer, late night, kind of going out fragrance, that's the one for me. And next up on this, Versace Eros Najim. This is a new one in the Eros line, new to the States. It was released in the Middle East earlier, but it is kind of new to the States. Now, if you like spicy, very warm, a little sweet, not too sweet, not gourmand sweet, but a little sweet, Middle Eastern style fragrances, you're really going to like that one. I'll read you the scent notes. It's caramel, Italian, mandarin, cardamom, again, oud, incense, patchouli, and vetiver. Very, very nice fragrance. It is powerful though. You do not need a lot. I used this a few days ago, and I just took 2 sprays, and I smelled it on my clothes the next day. That's a super powerful fragrance. So if you're gonna go with that, be careful. Use it sparingly. The dry down on that is fantastic. The opening is a little sweet because of the caramel, but the dry down on that is absolutely exceptional. And let's see, the next one we're going to go with is another standby, another staple in my winter fragrance collection. This is Dolce & Gabbana, the one. This is the Eau de Parfum. I'll give you the scent notes on this one. Now there's 3 in this line. There's an EDT, an EDP, and an EDP Intense. And they're all slightly different. They all have that Dolce & Gabbana, the one DNA. Like you can tell it's a Dolce & Gabbana, the one fragrance, but they all have, they're slightly different. And this one, the scent notes are grapefruit, coriander, basil, cardamom, again, ginger, orange blossom, amber, tobacco, and cedar. Now this one opens up kind of fresh with the citrus in there, and then it starts to dry down and you get that cardamom and you get that tobacco and the amber, and it's just an excellent fragrance for winter. And last, but certainly not least, I don't think you can have a warm fragrance collection without putting this one in here, and that's Tom Ford Oud Wood. Oud Wood is such a popular scent, I really don't have to sell it to you. I don't really have to tell you much, but I'll give you the scent notes. Oud, Brazilian rosewood, cardamom, sandalwood, Szechuan pepper, vanilla, vetiver, tonka bean, and amber. This one I think works year round though too. It's not so warm and spicy like the Versace Najim where it's not going to perform well in really hot weather, or it's going to be too cloying in the hot weather. This works year round, and I do go through this one quite a bit. This one's actually pretty good. All right, so that's the fragrances. That's the 4. For the 3 brushes, oh, hang on one second. I gotta go grab one of the brushes. All right, we're back with the brushes. I left one of the brushes out. So again, no particular order, but I'm gonna start things off with this one right here. This is from a company called Cobble Hill Farm Soap. They are a local vendor to us. They are literally the next town over from me. They do a lot of bath and body products, but one of the owners, John, he's a retired Coast Guard, and he does a lot of woodworking. So he does brushes and razor handles and kitchen utensils. Not a lot on his website right now this time of year. I mean, they get hammered. They're doing a very large farmer's market up in Saratoga, New York. So, and it's year round. So, I mean, he's turning and burning nonstop, and he does a lot of custom brushwork. If you reached out to him and said, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? He's done a couple of customs for me. And this is the first one that I got from him. Now, this is a blue dyed stabilized hemp wood with a 26 millimeter Timberwolf knot. Now, he doesn't put a coin or anything in his brushes, but his work is outstanding. Check it out. I'll put a link down below if you want to check him out. We've been to events together. There was an event that we were literally right across from each other, and he walked over to my booth and he bought Following Seas, and I walked over to his booth and I bought another brush that he had on his in his display. So Cobble Hill Farm, that's the first one. The next one, this is my daily go-to. This is one that is always in my stand. I have 3 stands in the bathroom. I have razor stands with a brush and razor in the stands, and this brush is always in the stand. I don't rotate this one out. This is my daily driver. This is my go-to, and this is Maggard Razors blue resin 26 millimeter 2-band Badger. This was the first Badger brush that I ever bought. I think it was back in when I first got started, 2018. That's when I first got started. I think that's might be when I got this brush. But I bought this brush and I bought a synthetic brush, and this one is this has been my go-to. And last one. I watched this brush being turned live, and as I was watching it kind of take shape and come and be created, I was like, I have to have that brush. And as soon as he was done turning it, I sent him a message. I said, hey, has anyone claimed that brush? He said, no. I said, I want it. And that's this one here from Sawdust Creations. And look at that. That is just an absolutely gorgeous brush. And this is I think he said this is a 26 millimeter High Mountain White. I think it's what he said it was. Pretty sure. But I mean, I saw that. I said, I gotta have that brush. All right, onto the razors. I'm gonna start off with, because I shave with safety razors and straight razors, I'm gonna start off with the safety razor. And my go-to safety razor, again, this is one that like I said, I have that stands in my bathroom where I have the razors and brushes, and this is my razor that never gets rotated out. This is in my stand every day. This is my daily driver, my go-to, and that is the Yates America. Now these came out, I think it was 2020, these came out, a company called the Wet Shaving Club. Now they're no longer in business, but they partnered up with Yates Precision Manufacturing in Pennsylvania to make these razors. When the Wet Shaving Club went out of business, Yates bought them and brought all the razors back to Yates. So instead of being a wet shaving store razors, they were now Yates razors. Yates continued to produce them. Yates went out of business, and the rights to Yates manufacturing was purchased by Razor Emporium. So Razor Emporium is going to be making the Yates razors now. I don't know, I do know that I did see that they had the Winning razor, which was another one of the Yates razors. The Winning razor is being sold now, being produced by Razor Emporium, and I think they're going to be doing the America razor. I don't know if they have started it yet or not, but I think they're going to be doing it. And let's go with a straight razor. Hang on one second, I gotta grab it. Straight razor, if I have to go with a favorite straight razor, it's going to be vintage, and it's going to be Geneva Cutlery. I can't say enough good things about these Geneva Cutlery razors. Very affordable. You can find one on eBay for 20, 40 bucks for one that's fully restored. Some go a little bit higher, but I picked one up. As a matter of fact, I picked one up a few days ago on eBay. It was 12 bucks, and it doesn't need hardly any work. Just a little polishing and honing, and it's going to be good to go. But Geneva Cutlery, Genco, Geneva Cutlery became Genco later on. So if you see Geneva Cutlery, if you see Genco razors, Geneva, New York, it's the same thing. But these are my go-tos. These Geneva Cutlery razors, I just for me, that's one of the best in my collection. I have a lot of high-end razors and a lot more modern razors, but most of my collection is vintage. And within that vintage collection, most of those are New York razors. And Geneva Cutlery is the ones that I have, the brand that I have the most of. So that goes without saying for me. Now, while we're talking about the razor, let me just throw in something, a little bonus here is a stone that I use that has a lot of history with New York because of where the quarry is. It's on the New York border, and that's Vermont green. I mean, this is my standby. This is my go-to. I do have a lot of other stones, but this was the very first stone I ever used, and I'm able to get fantastic edges off of this stone. So, I can't mention my stone collection without saying that the Vermont green is probably, I'd say probably tops in my collection, just because of I think a lot of it has to do with the history of the stone being where it comes from, and the edges that I'm able to get off it. Just absolutely fantastic. All right, so that's the 2. And the 1, we're going to go back to the safety razor for the blade. And my go-to, Astra. Astra Green is my go-to. It's kind of a toss-up for me between Astra Green and the Feather. Astra Green, I think I could put an Astra Green in any razor and it performs great. It doesn't matter if it's an extremely aggressive razor, a mild razor, the Astra Green works across all my razors. Whereas a Feather, I love the Feather blades, but if you put them in a really aggressive razor, you got to be a little careful because it might be a little bit too much. But Astra Green, that's my go-to blade. All right, so those are my selections with a little bit of a twist thrown in there for the seasonal aspect. So who am I going to tag next? Let's see. I don't know if they've been tagged yet, but I'm going to tag them anyway. The Shave Masters, John, Barry, Doug. I'll tag you guys in this. I also want to tag Chuck at Chuck Shaving Channel and Mike at Long Island Shaving. So we'll see what you guys come up with for your tops. Top overall, but top seasonal. However you want to do it. Just have some fun with this. This is a pretty cool challenge to try and dig into. All right, guys, that'll do it. Enjoy your Christmas, enjoy your New Year's, and I will catch you next time. Take care.